would return to the pointy end of the spear. So Stockdale's words and thoughts were perhaps uniquely inspirational, relevance for all of us. As many of you will remember, Admiral Stockdale was our senior prisoner of war in Vietnam. It's amazing to me that virtually every institution, every award, and every position in the Navy that has anything to do with leadership and ethics is named after Stockdale. And I think what I'm about to say may help you see why. Stockdale was shot down over North Vietnam and endured more than 7 years of imprisonment and torture, and really never walked properly again. Before he went to Vietnam, he read philosophy with a professor at Stanford when he was supposed to be studying economics. As he was leaving, the professor gave him a small volume, The Enchiridion by Epictetus. Enchiridion means a handbook, by the way, a Stoic Roman philosopher. He read it avidly, kept it beside him in his bunk on the aircraft carrier, and later in his book, Thoughts of a Philosophical Fighter Pilot, attributed his very survival of the POW experience to his having deeply imbibed Epictetus' message. The core of it was this: rigorously distinguish what is in your control, your thoughts, your feelings, and your reactions to things, and what you don't control, your health, what happens to you in the world, and so forth. So at the end of his time, and he was asked, circumstances, what happened to you? The POW experience was an extreme of this. He controlled nothing about how often he was tortured, how long he would be imprisoned, or how his guards would treat him. But of course, his POW experience is just an extreme of what is true of all of us in our lives. We get sick, we grow old, we experience loss. A quick word of inspiration is this: don't imagine a world better, prettier, or more just than the one you find yourself in. Call things by their right names and honest names, and control what is really in your control, your reactions to what life gives you. Don't futilely try to resist all the things that are not in your control. For the Stoics, the central goal is a quiet mind at peace with the world. To that end, why me is a waste of time. Thank you.
Please join me for the pledge. We have a picture today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And as Rotarians, in everything we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Have a great lunch. Good afternoon. Thank you guys, those of you that showed up today. Imagine where we'd be if you didn't. It's a nice, intimate little crowd. We have some volunteers that Jim Munt is going to be introducing to us here shortly. But first, I want to go over our birthdays. Charlie Brown and Mike Mcgrath, and neither one are here, but they had birthdays this last week. Mike Mcgrath is in Joliet, Illinois, enjoying his birthday with some relatives. And for Rotary anniversaries this last week, Wayne Bland celebrated 24 years in Rotary, Donna Delolio 19 years in Rotary, Paul Clarkin 52 years in Rotary. Congratulations, Paul, right? Yeah, he's still alive. Exactly, we know that. And then Jane Young celebrated 25 years in Rotary, so we are just thrilled that you guys are still around. Jim Munt, Jim, if you want to come up and introduce our visitors, please.
Good afternoon. We have two guests here. Well, one visiting Rotarian, but one guest is Chloe Henry, guest of Chris Lewis. Chloe, where are you? And the second guest is from a little further away than most of us. Pole Few, is that right? She's from Myanmar. And welcome to you, and we're very happy to have you. Are there any other Rotarians or guests of Rotarians? Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Jim. And we always fail to mention, and not very many people know this maybe, but I do, so shame on me. Po Pugh is the president of her Rotary Club in Myanmar. So we are thrilled to have you here again. And thanks so much for being our speaker last week. That was amazing. And I don't know how many of you guys were here last week for that, but her pictures and her travelogues certainly made many of us want to go visit. So thank you very much. That was such a nice program. So we have Holly, if you would like to come forward. We are doing a white badge presentation today.
All right, so we are excited to have Monique Lewis get her white badge today. She has been with us for about a year. Come on up, Monique. And Kathleen was actually her mentor, but I'm going to go ahead and do the introduction. So Monique came to us about a year ago. She's with Karen Share, and she is in charge of PR. And she's bringing those skills to us in our Rotary Club. Over the past year, we've gotten to know you and a little bit, but today we look forward to getting to know you a lot more, and we're excited to have you as part of our club. I'll take it.
Well, thank you guys. I'm glad it's a smaller crowd today because as Kathleen knows, I am not my best on camera or in front of a mic. So I'm going to make this short and sweet. But first and foremost, I do want to thank my fabulous sponsor, Kathleen, for encouraging me to join the best club in Colorado Springs. We've certainly been through some of life's biggest challenges together, and I'm truly fortunate not only for her friendship, but also for her mentorship. So a little bit about my volunteerism background. So I began volunteering when I was about yay high in elementary school, from wrapping presents for Toys for Tots, participating in raising money for Relay for Life and Jump Rope for Heart, serving meals at the local soup kitchen. My mom drugged me to every volunteer event known to mankind. So I definitely have her to thank for instilling in me a servant's heart. In high school, I joined the Key Club and learned even more about volunteer service. And little did I know my career would shift from working in the for-profit world to my first nonprofit gig, working at the American Cancer Society, overseeing a team of Relay for Life staff. So it's kind of funny how life comes full circle. So it's hard to believe it's been almost 10 years since I entered the nonprofit world, and although I've acquired many gray hairs along the way, those of you who work in nonprofits can probably relate to that. I absolutely love my career helping others and giving back to this amazing community I'm lucky enough to call our forever home. I grew up in Merced, California, which is a small town in the Central Valley, which is also where I met my husband, Brian. And his career in the Army Special Forces has taken us from Tennessee, which was a huge culture shock growing up in California and moving there. And then we've moved back and forth from North Carolina to Fort Carson here in Colorado Springs throughout his career. So we're happy to lay down roots here, counting down the days till his retirement in September 2026. So he'll finish off his career here, and we're really excited about that. You've probably seen my two precious boys flashing on the screen. Our oldest will turn 13 next week on Friday the 13th, so hopefully it's a good day for him. It's his golden birthday, and then our youngest just turned 6 last month. So, public relations director, and then also have really enjoyed being part of the Rotary Reading Group. I know Donna's not here today, but huge shout out to her. It's been such a rewarding and fun experience being part of that group. We're having a pizza party next week to celebrate with the kiddo, so we're excited about that. So I'll close. I'm keeping it short and sweet today by sharing a quote that I heard from another military spouse early on in my husband's career, and it really resonated with me, and that was, "Bloom where you are planted." So as a military spouse, although you can't predict where you're going or where you're going to be planted, or in this case, stationed, it's up to you to make the most of your journey. So I can say I'm truly delighted to be a part of this amazing group and continue blooming here in my volunteer service and living by the Rotary motto, service above self. Thank you. Thanks.
I was thinking that it's pretty miraculous that Monique and I are still friends, because after I had my accident, she had to step up into my position. And as you know, with nonprofits, it's not with the pay of that position. And she did that for I don't know how long. And then when they opened up my position, she had to interview for it just like everybody else. So thank you for continuing to be my friend. All right, well, congratulations to you. Randy, did you want to talk about the golf tournament? We have, okay, does this mic work right here, Fabrizio? Oh, okay, there you
go. Let's see, this is a little bit unanticipated, but we're still planning on the golf tournament, but I think we've got a website up and running, and my job is to recruit golfers, so I'll be emailing all of you and everybody who's played in the past and so on and so forth, so that's what I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay,
and I'll send out so you know what the website is. Hey, it's a beautiful course. Last year it was just incredible. It was really fun. So, yep.
Thank you. Right, so Chip Fraser is not here. Samantha's not here. Jordan's not here. Tina's not here. Wow, we got through those announcements really fast. You may notice that on your tables, we do not have the tabletop flyer with all the announcements, and that is because Karen Moody is on vacation, enjoying time away from our wonderful club. And when she's not here, everything doesn't just happen, as I've realized this morning. And Fabrizio, she was missed this week. I am going to introduce a guest that we have today. His name is Glenn Malin, and he has some things that he's going to share with us before we get to our main speaker. So,
Forces, So I'm going to start this talk like I would any talk about national security issues. What? Oh, y'all don't drink at the workplace? It's water, don't worry. I don't know if there's any left. It's really great to be here. It's great to see all y'all, although I gotta say, looking around at your faces, I kind of miss masks. No offense, no offense. Most of y'all have beautiful personalities, I'm sure. Hey, something completely unplanned. Monique, I served in combat with your husband. Yeah, I think I gave him a big bear hug maybe 2 months ago because I saw him. So that's really cool that happened. That was my last trip in Afghanistan. All right, back to comedy. I'm a comedian, by the way. I'm not trying to make a statement about masks. I'm not trying to say anything, but the Army was a little silly with their rules. For example, in 2021, after the lockdowns, we started doing parachute operations again, you know, tactical skydiving. They were having us wear a mask while jumping out of a plane at night. Because, you know, the leading cause of death for skydivers is COVID-19. Shh. Oh, was he wearing a mask? Just... I have an exciting... I wasn't sure what I'm going to do when I get out because I have all these skills that don't necessarily transfer into... and I was like, yeah. And also, I've been doing stand-up comedy for the last year, so I'm funny, right? And he was like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, sir. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing comedy, and I've been talking about leadership. I'm trying to combine the two because I think it's engaging. And I'm doing it for lots of reasons. One of the reasons is not only is it enjoyable, but it gives me flexibility to spend time with my kids because that's actually why I'm getting out of the military, is to spend time with my kids. I have 50% custody of my kids. Which means that half the time I'm really, especially now, just pouring into them and being the best father that I can be. And the other half the time when they're not with me, I'm just totally well-rested and happy, I think is how I would... It's a full-time job, little kids. They're difficult, you know, because you have to do things 24/7, like keep them alive, and it's not... They don't make it easy. I was in my study, my 2-year-old ran in to my study with a white plastic garbage bag over her head, over her whole body. First of all, I don't know how she even got that. I keep those in the gun safe. It's like, I need to check that in a second. She was like, Dad, I'm a ghost. And I was like, almost. All right. Don't worry, I snatched it off her before she get fully in character. I'm really grateful for the time. I don't have time to maybe share some war stories or leadership stuff. So I'll just end with some advice, just in case, you know, there's anyone who needs it with little kids. It was really stressful for me at first because little kids can be difficult. And apparently I'm not as a good leader for them as I am for other people. But especially at night because I'm tired, they're being loud, and I just want to snap at them. But I don't want to be that guy. So finally, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I need help. Like, I'm so stressed out, I don't know what to do. And she said, well, you know how Mommy likes wine? I was like, yeah. She said, well, maybe you should try some whiskey. I think you'll find it very calming. So I did. I tried a couple shots of whiskey, and she was right. It was very calming. Those kids went right to sleep. They're lightweights. If there's anyone here during a comedy bit who's judging me, that is a joke, okay? I'm a responsible parent. I'm going to hang around. I hope to meet you all, and thank you so much.
I thought it would be nice to enjoy something a little more than just supporting the veterans, so you're welcome. All right, well, our speaker today, I'm so excited to introduce you to her. It's Lauren Graziano. She actually made her first touch point with our club about a year ago before our golf tournament. And her boss, who's on maternity leave right now, actually approached me and said that they had this golfing-related nonprofit teaching young people life skills through the game of golf. And I said, well, you know what? We've got a golf tournament coming up. And so they actually did supply some of the gifts and prizes to our winners at the golf tournament this past year. So I already liked the nonprofit before I actually got to really meet her. But Lauren Graziano is the Community Impact Coordinator for First Tee Southern Colorado. As the Community Impact Coordinator, Lauren serves as the organization's advocate and contact in developing and nurturing relationships with community leaders, golf facilities, schools, districts, youth-serving organizations, donors, and others as needed to create a positive image and develop new opportunities for programming and financial development. She also represents the organization at community events and embodies the organization's mission and core values. Lauren is a recent graduate of the Sterling Management School of International Business at the University of Stirling in Scotland. Prior to this, she completed her undergraduate degree at Mount Mercy University, graduating an honors student with a Bachelor of Business Administration. After finishing her studies in the UK, Lauren moved back to Colorado in late December of 2020 to pursue her professional career goals. And I think that our community is pretty lucky to have someone like her here. So I would like to, introduce you to Lauren Graziano.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you, Kathleen. That was a wonderful introduction. I didn't even know you knew so much about me. No, it's really wonderful to be here today and to be able to speak to such a wonderful group that does so much for our community. As Kathleen mentioned, I am the Community Impact Coordinator for First Tee Southern Colorado, and a big part of my role is community engagement and community awareness, so speaking to groups like you. And so I really do appreciate the time today and getting to share a little bit more about our organization and who we are and what we do. So First Tee Southern Colorado is a youth development organization, and our mission is to help kids build character through educational programs by instilling life skills and different values that they can take with them in all walks of life. And so we've been around, this is our 10-year anniversary, and so our board was very forward-thinking, and so they built an indoor facility when we first started, and we'll chat about that a little bit more as we go through the slides, but that way we're able to offer our programs year-round, and so we do our programs at the Learning Center, and then also our outdoor programs at Valley High Golf Course. So if you want to go ahead. So this is a little video that shares a little bit more. If you want to go ahead and click it, and we can watch a fun video.
Here at First Tee Pikes Peak, we really work on character development and life skill development through the game of golf. So what that looks like is 3 different programs. We have a life skills experience program, which is our traditional program. We do that year-round, 6-week sessions for every season that we have.
We've done everything you can learn about golf. We've played fun games with it. We've done indoor, we've done outdoor, we've done it in all the different seasons. It's just been exciting and thrilling.
We also have a school-based program, and with that program we really work.
We actually get to go to their facilities, totally change up like their PE classes.
And then try to take them on a field trip to Valley High Golf Course and really help them put it together, add some STEM work in there, and really get them engaged in the game of golf. With our community-based programs we offer.
Our missions kind of parallel one another. You know, we want to be instrumental in development.
With like family or friends, and I just like spending quality time with them.
Check us out on our website, firstteepikespeak.org. We have classes going on year-round. We have something for every kid. Come be part of our next class and experience golf and life skills.
So you'll notice that some of that says First Tee Pikes Peak. We recently... So we'll take a quick look at our core values. The way that our programs are structured, we have 3 branches, and they kind of mentioned it in that video, but we have our traditional programs, which is our life skills experience. Then we have our community-based programs and our school-based programs. The school-based and community-based programs are entirely free, and then our traditional-based programs, we keep our program costs as low as possible. We never turn anybody away because we meet anyone wherever they're at. It's all inclusive, so we have scholarship and financial aid, and we have at the core of what we do. There's 9 core values because with golf you do everything in 9. And so these are things that apply to the game of golf, like honesty, integrity, respect, perseverance, things that we could also probably all do a little bit better on the golf course, and especially being patient with yourself and building up that confidence. And so we generally start each program session, we introduce a core value, we talk a little bit about how it applies to the game of golf, and then we also talk about how it applies at home, with family, at school, in the classroom, and that way these kids are able to take that and apply it to all life scenarios and really take it with them and carry it throughout their walk of life. So if you want to keep going. So this is some of our current statistics, and so if you have a look, last year we served 1,092 participants through our LSE program. Overall, if you include our school and community-based programs, we served 2,074, which is the largest we've ever been. During COVID years, we were at about 700. So we've grown a lot, and we're very excited to see that growth continue, and to also see our partner pool continue to grow, because our community partners, our sponsors, are such a huge part of that growth, and us being able to have a greater impact and expand that impact in our community. So this shows a little bit kind of the breakdown of where our participants come from, who they are, and the communities that we're trying to serve. With our school-based and community-based programs, we generally work with District 2 and District 8. Our community partners include Hillside Community Center. We also work with Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters, different YMCAs. One of our new partners is the Family Success Center, which is going to be opening in August. And that's over in the southeast area as well. And so really trying to focus on giving kids an opportunity. That's what we offer at our Learning Center and at Valley High Golf Course. And then we do various play day camps where the kids get to go and play at different courses like Cherokee Ridge or Patty Jewett. And those are generally, so we're very volunteer based. So our volunteers help run all of our programs, and we couldn't do what we do without them. We are always looking for volunteers. And so with Valley High, generally we start those May 31st this year. If we can get out there in April, we like to do that. But those programs generally run for about an hour, and they run all summer long and into the fall as well. And we, again, introduce that core value. We have a short course that we put in up there. There's a short game area, and then we also use the driving range bays so the kids are able to work on their short game, the putting, the chipping, and then also full swing, and then put it all together on the short course where they're able to work on their drive and then their short game as well, and putting that ball in the hole. So with the school-based programs, again, school-based and community-based are entirely free. And with those, we work primarily with District 2 and District 8. We are now looking to work with District 60 and 70 down in Pueblo County, which we're really excited about. And with those, what we do is we work directly with the physical education teachers. We go into the schools, again, removing that accessibility barrier where, if kids can't get to a location because they don't have transportation. So, if we can go to them, we are able to go to them. And we operate, those vary. Sometimes we're inside a gym. Sometimes we get to be outside, depending on the weather, the time of year, if they have, an outdoor area that we can utilize. And so our coaches work with their staff, and we're able to see them at least 3 times during the academic semester. And that way we can run through their short game. So we do putting, then we do chipping, and then we do full swing, and then we do a field trip where they either come to the Learning Center if it's winter, or they'll go to Valley High Golf Course. And that way they're able to put it all together and see the coaches again and again, continue to build that relationship. And then as far as transitioning, we like to maintain that relationship. Again, there's that mentorship piece. And so we offer free LSE programs for those kids to then transition if they're interested in pursuing that. And so with the community-based programs, that goes back to our partners, like Boys and Girls Club, which we're partnering with down in Pueblo as well. They're our first partner down there, and we're very excited to be involved with them. And then we also have a new partner that I wanted to share a little bit about. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Play COS, and that's with our police department here. And so they're working to build relationships with kids in the community and kind of break down that barrier and the negative image that a lot of people have of our police officers and law enforcement in general due to recent media and events. And so we were able to partner with them and offer a program with our Hillside Community Center. And it was one of my favorite programs probably because you're able to see how the kids come in and they're really scared at first, they're like, oh my goodness, the cops are here. And then to see, the cops building that relationship with them and breaking down that barrier and being able to see that fear turn into joy, into friendship and excitement. And it totally changes their perspective and their outlook on that, which I think is huge if you can do that at a young age. And so it was a really beautiful thing to see, and we're excited to continue partnering with them and to continue building those relationships. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about our indoor golf facility, the Learning Center. You can go to the next slide because it'll share a little bit more about it. Yeah. So we have this wonderful indoor golf facility that, again, our board was very forward-thinking. A lot of people aren't aware of it, but it is open to the public. So we have membership opportunities, and then we also have daily walk-in rates where you can go and hit balls on the driving range bay, just get some practice in, or you can also book one of the simulators and play 9 or 18 holes, and then we have a full-size short game area where you can work on your putting and chipping. So this is a great resource in the winter when you're wanting to golf, and Colorado is all snowy and cold, and it's proper ski season. But we do all of our youth programming here, again, in the winter months, but when it is open to the public, that's seasonal, so it's November 1st through May 1st. And again, we like to encourage our golf community to take advantage of that. All of the revenue from the Learning Center goes back into our programming budget to keep our operational costs low and keep those program costs as low as possible for our participants. So I'd love to share a little bit more about upcoming events, which this slide is not updated, so you can just ignore all that fun stuff. So our next upcoming event is our Legacy Tournament, which is on June 8th. This is our annual golf tournament. We do it every year. It's at the Broadmoor. And if anyone would like more information on it, I think there's a slide that's further down that maybe has it. It's still further down. We'll flip back up. That's all right. It's at the very end, but I'll share that at the end. But the Legacy Tournament is our biggest fundraiser, and all the money that we bring in almost covers our whole entire program budget for the year. And so it's a really great day to get out on the golf course while also supporting youth development in our community and our youth golfers. So if anybody's interested in that, June 8th on a Wednesday at the Broadmoor. And then our next upcoming event after that is our Legacy Reception, which is going to be on August 30th. That's going to be at the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, and we'll be honoring, we'll talk a little bit about this, but some of our biggest needs as a nonprofit, number one is volunteers. We are incredibly volunteer reliant, and we have some amazing volunteers who we ask a lot of in order to run all our programs. As I mentioned earlier with the numbers, our programs have grown significantly, and so you don't have to be a golfer. We teach you everything you need to know. And again, the biggest part of our programs is the core values and that mentorship piece. Golf is just an added bonus and a wonderful vehicle which we get to introduce these core values through. But you don't have to be an incredible golfer. But I'm not a golfer, so. And then also, a big part of my role is spreading the word, increasing community awareness, community engagement. I'm always looking for different partner organizations, other youth-serving organizations that we can partner with to support their youth, offer programs with them, and obviously other opportunities like this where I can speak to groups of wonderful people like you that are invested in our community and want to give back. So this is a little bit more about that volunteering. And again, if anybody's interested, there's also information on the brochures, and I also brought cards. But I'd love to speak to anyone about volunteer opportunities because, again, we're always looking for them. So one of the opportunities that we have is to sponsor a participant. Again, we never turn a participant away. So, their family comes to us, and whether they can pay for part of it, for some of it, we keep our program costs as low as possible, but we also waive those costs entirely because sometimes that's what they need. And so that's exactly how we operate, and we don't require a very formal process. We simply meet them where we're at, and we make it happen. And so definitely when people sponsor a participant for the full year, that has a huge impact on our ability to do exactly that and the amount of kids that we're able to serve. So if you're looking for a significant way to impact and to make a really big difference in one child's life, that's a great way to do it. There it is. The Legacy Tournament. I knew it was down there somewhere. So again, the Legacy Tournament is at the Broadmoor, June 8th. And if you are a golfer and want to give back to kids in our community, this is a great golf tournament to participate in for that reason. All the proceeds are going to go back to our youth programs. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? So a foursome is $2,000, and then there's different sponsorship opportunities, and shotgun is at 1:30 p.m. And I've checked the weather. Right now it looks good. We're a little far out, but it's looking promising.
Oh, I've got a comment and a question. A comment, I wonder if you've ever considered allowing some older people, like 70-year-olds, to learn more about honesty and integrity in golf?
All the time. Sometimes we teach our coaches as much as we teach the kids.
Yeah, good plan. The question is, the Learning Center, where do you have your simulator? Where do you do that? And what are the rates?
Yeah. Who calls me ring person? I just pulled my ring off and dropped it. Someone was saying that earlier. So our simulators are down. I'm glad you asked that. The location is off of Platten Academy at Citadel Crossing. And is that what you were asking, where it was located? Yeah. So it's right over there. There's a guitar center, and we're kind of tucked around the corner. We face south, so we're facing Platte. So we're on the far end of that Citadel Crossing area. And again, not a lot of people know that we're tucked over there, but we do host events. So we do networking events, we do different parties and whatnot, private events. So if you're ever interested in having some kind of little event to celebrate something, or you want some kind of fun interactive experience combined with a networking or business event, those are really fun to do. We do a ladies sip and chip, which is really great, and the ladies always enjoy, and some do more sipping of the wine than chipping, and some do more sipping or chipping than sipping, and so it
are from Colorado Springs, and how many from Pueblo in your group?
So as far as staff or volunteers or?
Both.
Both. So right now we've only done one event program down in Pueblo, and then we have 3 upcoming camps. Right now everyone is up Homewood Golf Course, which we're really excited about. They've got an Executive 9 that's great for youth programs like we run. And so we're looking to, see if maybe we can potentially hire someone down in Pueblo to be someone that's part of the community down there and really be a community leader, someone who can also do what I do down there and engage with the community and find the people who are passionate about youth and about youth who want to golf, and creating those opportunities, giving kids an environment to be themselves and feel confident. So we'd love to have someone who's local from down there. However, it's a process, so it's in the works, and that's what we're hoping for. Right now, we have up in Colorado Springs 4 full-time staff. It's myself, our executive director, Sandy Johnson. Emily is our director of golf and education, and then we also have Paul, who we hired in February, and he's our new program coordinator. He works with Emily.
Now, I quit golf in 1978, and at that point in time, there were some players that would have had a 8 actually, and they scored it as a 6. How do you handle those kids like that?
Well, and that's a big reason why we do what we do. The honesty core value is one that we run through a lot and really try and ingrain and instill in our kids, because it's so important, not just on the golf course, but in everyday life. But that's one of the reasons why golf is such a great vehicle, because you are holding yourself accountable and you have to be honest with yourself about your score. And if you just gently tapped the ball on accident. Well, guess what? You have to be honest about that. And so it's a really great learning opportunity for kids. Yeah, 6-week program. And so we'll allow them to rent those clubs for free. There's also the option where kids can buy a set of clubs from us for $25, and then as they grow and get taller, they can bring those back and exchange them for free for a larger set, and progress through our program from all the way from age 3 up to age 18. But we try and make our equipment as easy as possible to get, and that way it minimizes that expense barrier, because golf clubs can get expensive, especially when you're a kid and you're growing out of your shoes every week. So again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for them to participate. So yes, any donations, please give them to me.
You don't want Paul's clubs, just what direction you would.
Yeah. So Emily, our Director of Golf and Education, sends out various surveys and everything that report back on their different academic measurements that they report back on, and then different asking about different core values and how have they applied them anywhere else, at home or at school. And so some of them are for the kids to fill out, some of them are for the parents to fill out, to kind of get different perspectives and see, are they learning these things? Are they retaining it? Are they applying it in different scenarios? And are they recognizing that connection? And so that is a big part. We also do events that aren't just focused, they're other than golf events, where we talk about different things and have different activities where the kids can also apply those, and we try and see how they apply them in those different scenarios as well.
I was just going to share that I was at a recent get-together at the home of Jim Hoffmeister, a past member of this club, and I met there a gal who said that at 9 years old, she had private lessons with Byron Nelson. And she said he kept putting brand new balls down and asking me to hit them into a lake. I said, well, don't these cost money? He says, no, I get them for free.
All right, wonderful. Well, if anybody else has any other questions, I am happy to answer them. But thank you again all so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and for all the wonderful questions as well.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate your presentation and your time. And we have a certificate for you. There you go. You've now been a speaker here. And I didn't think you were old enough to need highball glasses on a daily basis. So there you go. Enjoy some coffee.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
This is my new office mug.
Right. There you go. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I thought it's probably a good time, because we do have a few minutes, 4 to be exact, to tell you about my Rotary/golf story. When the ink wasn't even dry on my application yet, and Carol Bach came up to me and said, hey, would you like to golf in a foursome? And it was with Jane Hamoud and Miley Foster and Carol. And I said, sure. And I remembered, because I'd never golfed before ever, and I remembered that I had won golf lessons from a golf pro at the Broadmoor, so I quickly got signed up for that. I went to Play It Again Sports and miraculously found a tall girl's set of clubs, so bought those. And then I've never golfed before, so I didn't know if you have costume changes or whatever. So I went out and I bought, several different outfits, all color coordinated, of course, and everything. And so I believe it was on a Friday meeting, weeks and weeks, a month later or something. And I said to Carol, I go, hey, by the way, I forgot to ask you, which golf course are we going to? And she said, oh, it's miniature golf. It was in support of the North Club. We went. I did make 2 holes in one, so obviously all that training did pay off. But anyway, I did learn that if you're invited to be part of a foursome, you should ask a lot of questions. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a great week.